Hello everyone, it's Sophie here, and today I'm aboard the new ship, the Star Seeker, and I have a special guest today who I'm going to interview, our president, Chris Prolog.
Nice to meet you, Sophie. Very nice to be interviewed by you. Thank you for having me.
Let's start with our first question. What does a president of Windstar Cruises do?
Oh, wow, that's a big question, Sophie. So, well, there's a lot of things you do as a president, and there's a lot of things you don't do as a president. But first and foremost, I oversee my role as being the biggest supporter of my team, whether that's ship-based or shore-based, so to enable them to do a really good job. And then, of course, there's always the work around where we're going to put the ships, where do we deploy them, where should we go, what are some of the new vacation destinations which are being thought after our guests. So like the Star Seeker is going to reintroduce Alaska. And so this ship will be in 6 months going to Alaska, doing 7 to 10 day cruises there. And then she's going to transition to Japan and Southeast Asia. So that's really important decisions you're making with the team. Is like, where do the ships go, and what team are we working with is also important.
What do you like most about the Star Seeker?
Gosh, there's a lot to love about the Star Seeker. Well, we've just spent 10 days on it, right? Gosh, pin one thing. Well, I have to say, when you join this Star Seeker, you really have this amazing feeling about the crew and officers on board the ship. They just make you feel so welcome and so warm. It's the most favorite thing I must say of the Star Seeker is our crew and our officers.
Yeah. So the Star Explorer is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be the same ship as the Star Seeker?
Yes. So we're going to do a few modifications to the Star Explorer, as we have done also on the Star Seeker. These ships were originally built as expedition ships, but Windstar is doing mainly cruising, so we are making changes to the ships themselves to be a cruise ship more than an expedition ship. So those changes, for example, are adding a spa on deck 4, where we have a really large treatment rooms. We have this large gym and a hair salon. We're adding the marina in the aft section, where our guests love to jump into the water and enjoy water sports there. And of course, we have our jacuzzi on the bow. So there are things which are being changed on these ships, and we've done that on the Star Seeker. And so we're going to do the same changes on the Star Explorer when she comes out in a year's time.
Is Windstar Cruises going to build more ships?
That is a very, very good question. So the answer to that is, like, we're always looking and we're always interested to grow our brand. But right now we're really busy with the Star Seeker and Star Explorer. And what happens next? Well, we'll see what comes.
I heard that there's something happening on January 15th. What is happening on January 15th?
Well, first and foremost, we're going to break a bottle of champagne. But there's a lot of other things happening. So on January 15, the ship is going to get named officially by her godmother. And the godmother is a position on any cruise ship. It's generally the lady who names the ship. And in our case, this is Mrs. Libby Anschutz, the daughter of Mr. Anschutz. And she's going to name the ship the Star Seeker. And as part of the ceremony, there is a champagne bottle being broken against the ship's hull, which is symbolizing, that the godmother wishes her good fortunes and safe passage through all the waters she is going to carry guests and crew on board. So it's a really, really traditional way of naming a ship. And we look forward to doing that in Miami on January 15.
Wow. I heard your favorite destination is Tahiti, but how do you like Malaga?
Well, that is a very tough question. You're asking me in Malaga. Okay. I have to say, yes, Tahiti is my favorite destination, but it was so interesting that this morning my wife and I, we were walking through Malaga, through the shopping area, and we actually through the tunnel underneath the fortress there, and then to the beach. Malaga is a beautiful city and it is quite diverse. I love the Christmas lights and the show they're doing every night. We actually said this is a beautiful destination and it's a destination Windstar is going to visit more frequently in the future. So I know you call that home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to see probably your dad a little more frequently.
Do you have a favorite ship?
Wow, that is a very good question. And you're asking a lot of good questions. So here's my take on the favorite ship. When you work on a cruise ship, right, as a crew member like I did and many others in the industry, you always remember your very first ship. In fact, you remember the very first day you are walking on that very first ship. For me, that was in Sydney in January of 1998 on board the Star Legend. So the Star Legend is very close to my heart because it's really where I fell in love with cruising. And it was very similar to the Star Seeker. It's a small ship. We are lucky to operate her under the Windstar brand. And that's where I found my seagoing family. And that's very special to my heart. So I would say Star Legend, yes.
And my last question, how do you like the hotel manager on the Star Seeker?
Well, the hotel manager on the Star Seeker, well, I will say he's a fellow Austrian, right? And I will say he's doing an excellent job. And I'm very proud of Andreas because he's the man to bring out a new ship. He can deal with all the elements, with everything given to him. And, you know, he's a very good man. I'm very proud of him.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having that interview with me. I followed a little bit your YouTube channel, so you're doing a great job. I think
Thank you.
really congratulations, and I'm sure you will have a big following.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye.
Bye-bye.